And then my dad and her changed.
Stop believing in your fictitious religion. You're being groomed.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Right, Bob, question, right? I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, right? And then the people over here, and then their religion, and they practice like sort of abusing children. Should they be jailed and sent back to their own country?
Yeah, so on the issue of so look, people can believe things ignorantly, right? And what I mean by that is that not every Muslim believes firstly in what they're told. Many of them might hear that the Prophet was a pedophile, but really do they believe that? Do they want to believe the man that they idolise and stuff like that? Or are they even ignorant about the facts? There's, three things to consider. So in the case of moderate Muslims which try to dilute and change their religion for the sake of some sort of fictitious understanding of integration, don't incarcerate someone for what they believe. But for the ones that are like here, they know what they heard on the streets on the internet, and the Prophet's a pedophile, and there is no consent needed within a marriage to engage in sex with your wife, that female mutilation, all these things. I think, absolutely they should either be arrested or deported back to whatever backwards country they come from. Because why is it that all of the developed countries in the Middle East don't take the reprobates that we take here through illegal migration? It's because they know that their religion is too extreme.
I've heard on the news that sort of people that have been caught, there was a guy that tried to kidnap a girl and all that, and they get sentenced, but they're not getting stiffer sentence. They're only getting like a small sentence, and then they're just getting like a slap on the wrist.
I mean, we live in a time that tries to argue that we need to reduce prison space because our prison population is at, I think it's 97.5%. And then you release all the rapists, murderers and kidnappers, but you don't release the people who have said offensive things on the internet.
Thanks for the answer and all that.
I appreciate it.
God bless
Do any of you lovely gentlemen want to say anything about the topic of migration? I'll just reiterate my beliefs. I think migration is too high. I think right now it's not viable to accept more people if we don't take care of the people that are already here.
I think that we need to tackle the root cause. I think the root cause is unstable governments in the Middle East and all across the world. Wouldn't you agree that to an extent we should be focusing all our attention on these terroristic, criminal-led countries, and in order to actually solve the immigration problem, we get rid of these governments and we put in democratic governments.
We introduced governments that are terrorists through Western intervention, and the way that we resolve that is through...
We didn't do it correctly.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So we look at all these countries and try to argue that we destabilise them, and the way that we stabilise them is through going back to these countries because we believe we're better and we can actually implement more stabilising policies. You don't think in that itself is a contradiction? You're trying to say to me that foreign intervention has caused these countries to go down the pisser, and the way we resolve that is through going back into these countries.
This is the thing, is that I completely agree with you. I think it is a problem, but actually we ought to do it in a different manner. I think we need to include...
How do you get rid of terrorists?
How do we get rid of terrorists? I think we need proper education. Terrorism...
So we're going to educate terrorists?
Hold on. Terrorism is a product of a weak society, right? Would you agree? I think it is.
We have terrorists here in the UK. It's through ideological fundamentalism.
Yeah, because they're weak-minded individuals who can't...
Do you think people who are strong in their beliefs are weak-minded?
No, I think they're just completely deluded. The terrorists here are completely deluded people.
If you look at the works of people who are ideologically extreme, they're incredibly smarter than myself. They believe in vile things.
Well, only the leaders are, but they're incredibly smart, so they're able to manipulate weak-minded individuals who are lost, but they convert them into terrorists. I think we ought to invest in education here. People are poorly educated in this country. I think... No,
in the UK, you think we're poorly educated here? We're able to have this discussion about why countries are worse than ours.
You're saying they're not poorly educated, but look at all this woke agenda stuff that's flying around like that. Surely you think
that is the project of over-intellectualism.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think that's called intellectualism.
Have you ever heard of the homage that empires feel when they focus on sex?
Yeah, but I don't think we should be able to, we shouldn't get to a point where people are becoming woke-minded. I think we need to keep a society strong. I think you promote strength through investing in sports institutions, right? When people are playing sports, they become competitive. Men are supposed to be competitive, right? Wouldn't you agree? So we need to focus on that. We need to focus on actually saying that it's okay to be religious in this country. It's okay to believe in God. It's okay to believe in Jesus Christ. We're losing this strength. Because if you're saying, oh, intellectualism is calling all this woke agenda, then you're basically saying that religion is non-intellectual. Well, it is.
So what I'm rather doing is if you abstract God from the occasion and you over-intellectualize yourself, because firstly, if you look at academia, it derives from pagan philosophy, which points to the cross, which comes to Christianity, and then evolves into atheism, which originally comes from atheism originally comes from in Europe, when people started worshipping knowledge. So what I'm saying is that if you abstract God, over-intellectualize, and you ever hear of this saying that bad times create good men create good times create bad men, and it's a paradox of, you know, society is kind of messing itself up, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're trying to do.
Here's the thing, religion, this belief in God, is it's not the thing that exclusively solves our problems. Do you know why? Why do you think the Muslims are right now coupling themselves up with all the woke liberals?
I think the new liberals are coupling up with them to try and get a better
No, it's very
voice.
intentional. Because if you strongly believe these people are condemned to hell for their beliefs, why are you working with them?
Because they want these woke people want attention. They see
It's
right.
not attention. It's vote based. They want to succeed. They want to.
That's technically the same thing. You need attention to get a vote.
They're intentionally working with people they disagree with.
Yeah, no, I went to the Palestinian rally. Me and my friend were looking at Palestinian rally. I completely saw that. You see, like, people who are basically communists, but they're supporting like Islam, and it just doesn't make any sense. Wouldn't you agree?
So belief in God, it does not exclusively solve the problems, because a belief in God, in my eyes, is insufficient enough to teach people to use.
Well, I think if more people believed in God, I don't think, well, in a less radical sense, then I think our society would be a lot more stable.
I think it's not something that is. I don't think if you believe in God automatically makes you a good person. I think when we looked at the post-COVID era and we saw that everyone suddenly saw that Islam was popular, and it didn't promote a good value quality of men. That was certainly an issue. I mean, look at Sneeko. He converted during the epidemic, and then halfway through started admitting on live streams, oh, I'm still going to speak to women who are immodestly dressed, I'm still going to go to casinos, but I call myself a Muslim, man. So the belief in a God, cultural reactions to God, doesn't solve the issue that we're currently going against.
I think some people have like a shallow understanding of what God is. They just say, I believe in God now, and then that's supposed to make them, like, you know, truly believe in it. These people don't truly believe in God.
You believe in that is that matters.
I guess so.
And it is what the God that you believe in is. That is
Yeah, and I think the right kind of God to believe in is one that isn't promoting basically